In this Real Talk, I'm introducing you to a proud transgender woman who recently announced her candidacy for the Florida House of Representatives. She's also an author and professional development guru, and my friend. Welcome, Ashley T. Brundage. Welcome. Thank you for joining me today, Ashley. So nice to see you.
Oh my gosh, it's so great to connect with you.
I know, and diving right in. So, you hope to represent the people who call District 65 home. I'm curious, how you navigate the political obstacles in the Sunshine State.
Wow, there's a lot of obstacles happening, and I feel like many of it is driven on culture wars. And honestly, the culture wars is like a sleight of hand thing where we just want to distract you from the real issues that are affecting the 22 million Floridians, which is the exorbitantly high amount of cost of insurance. This is a real issue. This is our number one campaign priority is to focus on lowering the cost of insurance. And we have a lot of plans on how we're going to do that. So I'm sure we'll talk about that in just a second. But honestly, this is the thing. It's like we're going to distract you from the real issue that is only affecting 100,000 people in the state of Florida and not talk about the issue that's addressing the 22 million. And this is kind of how the political world has worked recently. And I think that having a candidate like me with a business background, a small business background, and an educator background, I can bring the conversation to help people learn about how to actually make an impact for real people every day.
And another way you want to make an impact. What is your plan to champion reproductive rights?
Oh my gosh, honestly, people need to be able to have the ability to choose what it is that they want to do to care for themselves. And so we're just calling it broad bodily autonomy as actually our campaign priority number two, because reproductive rights is obviously a central issue. It's on the ballot. Yes on 4 is the ballot initiative in Florida, and we're going to be very excited to engage with voters on this issue because the government shouldn't be making these kinds of decisions on people's lives and people's bodies. But it goes beyond just reproductive rights. It also connects to how people care for their own broader health care. And obviously, reproductive rights and bodily autonomy are very much connected. And if people want to have access to recreational marijuana, this is another ballot initiative, which actually, ironically, would generate more than $4 billion in revenue for the state of Florida. And if somebody was wondering how we could actually pay to lower the cost of insurance, well, I just found $4 billion. And so why is it that it seems that easy that we could do that, but yet we're going to talk about issues that don't have anything to do with the government making decisions on people's bodies? So I really think that the bodily autonomy issue and reproductive rights are directly aligned, and it's also central important for us to lead people to understand that these issues are incredibly linked also, not just to the point where you can vote on a ballot initiative and think that that's going to happen, because also you have to make sure that your legislators are going to enact a ballot initiative that gets passed and not legislate against it, which is what's happened over the course of years in Florida and in many other states too. So supermajority that exists in the state of Florida House could actually be circumvented by just flipping 3 seats. And our seat could be one of those 3. So this is why we're really being active to try to get people involved in our campaign, because their support can actually make a huge difference in circumventing that supermajority.
And how do you plan to represent a diverse constituency with different voices and beliefs?
Well, I can tell you that I've lived across a lot of constituencies. I was a registered Republican for basically 32 years of my life, and so I understand what's important to Republican voters. I understand what's important to Democratic voters because my life depends in some cases on some of the legislation that's created. But this district where I'm actually running has 30% independent voters. And independent voters have unique issues that align to their belief structure. And so it's very important that we engage and get to meet all the potential voters that we can during the election run. And so that's why we're going to do that. And so that way we can learn what's important to everyone and be the candidate for everyone, because just to be a candidate for any one party is not really how the political process was designed. It was designed that when you got elected, ultimately, whether the other constituents voted for you or not, that you're still their representative. And ironically, beyond that, I'll still be the representative for all of the Floridians, because I'll be serving in Tallahassee, supporting everybody in Florida. And I can feel it. I don't know if you can, but I can feel the historic nature of our campaign and the facts that we're talking about already, right? With the being a proud out woman of transgender experience, not really what we're running on, but it's not lost on me the historic nature of that. So our race is going to be felt beyond just Florida, because as a DEI educator, to be elected in a state where we're told that DEI is going to die, and being able to come back from that, it's almost like an opportunity to showcase why DEI is so important, because it's a leadership opportunity for people to learn through the differences to make an impact. And that's something that should be important to all of the 22 million people who live in Florida and beyond.
I mean, you've kind of answered this, but I was going to ask you, what are some of the steps you want to implement to make District 65 safer and more inclusive for everyone?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that it starts with having the conversations,
Yeah.
being able to educate, and being an educator by trade. I've worked with people across all different points of view, people across religions. I've transitioned my religion 3 times. I only transitioned my gender 1 time. So having this lived experiences across the gender continuum, across the religious continuum, I transitioned my social economic class from homelessness and back again and around in a circle and up and down. 7 different times I've had 7 different types of social economic class in my life. So these are experiences that I think that are important to all people, that can actually make conversations about actionable things that can impact people. And that's really why we're doing this. It's not a publicity stunt. It's a way of building a relationship. Using my unique knowledge can be very beneficial for people across all different types of voting blocks.
Well, Ashley, your unique lived experience will definitely help you. I believe that completely. I just want to say thank you so much for your time. And I so look forward to following your story, Ashley. You'll have to keep us informed and up to date on everything you're doing.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. And if people want to engage with us, they can go to ashleybrundage.com and learn all about our platform and get engaged and volunteer, and anything that they want to do to get involved. We would love to have their support. And obviously, this is going to be so much fun, because I'm going to be truly authentic who I am throughout this journey. We're documenting, we're going to bust out the camera and we're going to move it, and we're going to tell people about how we're transforming Florida. And I think that together, it's a perfect opportunity to join it. So we're so excited.
Oh, well, thank you, Ashley. And I believe in you.